Gonna have to film on my phone because my camera ran out of battery. It's charging right now. So this was to be part of a bigger vlog, but this clip ended up being 30 minutes long, so I'm gonna make it its own video. So yeah, enjoy. So it has been a while since we talked to each other. I know it's been a while since I filmed anything, but my mental health has gotten really bad. Not wanting to go into too many details, but before my anxiety was manageable, or it was because of certain things that I knew were happening, so that's why I knew I had anxiety. But this time it was about something that I truthfully can't control at all, so it was a bit hard trying to manage how I felt about this and trying to basically gaslight myself into thinking everything is gonna be okay when I know it's not. I'm a lot better now, still not perfect, but a lot better, and right now that's what counts. But let's go into the exciting things, which are the updates. First, I want to give a huge reading update. Actually, let me start with the smaller stuff. I bought a new K-pop album. I got the TXT the Start Chapter tomorrow. This is the Kiwin version album. This is my first time getting one of those digital type of albums without the physical CD, so I was very excited. And I also bought recently 3 new albums, P1 Harmony ones, because they're gonna release an album in English called X, so I'm very excited about that as well. As you can see, big P1 Harmony fan over here. So I've been trying to keep up with the new releases. I know Cortez has made a debut. I haven't watched their stuff yet, but I want to. I know, what else do I know? Besides that, other news, I got my packages for outfits for Music Bank. I'm very excited for Music Bank. I can't wait. I have a lot of content planned to post on my Instagram, so if you want to go over there, that would be perfect. I'm very excited for that. And the organization that is organizing the event sent out an email yesterday being oh, do you want to be one of the chosen ones to meet your faves? And I was like, yes. So I filled in the form. I don't know what's going on now, because yesterday kept breaking and not allowing people on the website, but I was able to get in, and I did fill in the form. I took a picture of the ending screen that's thank you for participating, good luck. Took a picture, took a screenshot, took a picture. I was I need proof that I was here, and then I got it in. So I chose ATs as the ones that I want to meet, and I even did a reading about it, and oh my god, I'm gonna get it. Manifestation is power. I'm gonna get that shit. I'm going to meet ATs. Also, like I said, my package from YesStyle came, so I have my outfit. So those are some of the few joys in my life. Then, like I said, big update when it comes to reading. This is my reading journal. I have actually been reading a lot recently. I don't know when was the last time we talked to each other, or what book I was reading. If I had to guess, I would say Sharp Objects, around there. So I think I talked about Masters of Death as well. I don't know if I ever published that video, but I know I talked about it. But I read 4 books in July. So I read Scythe and Sparrow, Sharp Objects, Masters of Death, and Bride. And then in August, or today's the 30th, I have read 6 books, and I really want to read one more, at least from today until tomorrow. I want to read one more. So let's talk about the books that I have read. So I read Masters of Death. Like I said, I gave it 4.5 stars. Honestly, I probably should have given it 5. I really enjoyed Masters of Death. It was a book that really made me think a lot about a lot of things, so I really appreciated it. I thought it was a little bit cringy a little bit with the addressing the reader as we were going along, but I still enjoyed the messaging about immortality and how much that would suck, and death and all those themes. I really enjoyed it. Then I read Bride, which I wrote in my description or opinion of the book. This book marks an important point in my life. The first time I read ABO fiction between straight people, because it is. Usually when I read ABO fanfiction, it is fanfiction, and it's, always gay. I think I've never read fanfiction that is ABO or Alpha Beta Omega Universe, where it's been a man and a woman. I did read Bride, and actually really did enjoy it. It was a very easy breezy read, which I appreciate. Listen, I like classics, but they take a lot out of me. But these types of books are really, really enjoyable if you want to just like take a moment to actually like relax. I see reading or like the hobby of reading as a relaxing thing, and sometimes it stresses me out too much, so I just like to sit down and read a book that's like easy to read and just like transports you into another universe just for like the time that you're reading. Like that's one too, and I really appreciate it, and Bright did that for me. I was in the universe, I enjoyed it a lot, and for once in my life I was going into a book with knowledge that the characters did not have, because the main character was like, so how does like a knot work? And I was like, I already know that. I think I've read too much fanfiction because I knew all of that, like all the things that she was like, so like scenting, what's that? She's like, knots, what's that? Meanwhile I was reading like, I know all of that. And then we have Not Quite Dead Yet by Ollie Jackson. I have read pretty much all of her books, Ollie Jackson's, I think. I read the Good Girl's Guide to Murder series, I think I put that on the channel. I read The Brief Periods of Rachel Price. I have like the books here, that's why I'm leaning back. Then Princesssarayt as well, and now she had another one I think that I read, but then she released a new book called Not Quite Dead Yet, and this one was, I think, the reason why my mental health got so bad. Not because the book was bad, but because I gave it 5 stars, so I enjoyed it, but because of like the messaging of the book. So Not Quite Dead Yet is a book about a woman, I think she's 27, and in the beginning of the book we got to know her, and she's going around, I forgot her name. She's talking like with her parents, and she's going around being like, oh, her parents are like, oh, you need to do this, and she's like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, or like, I'll do it later. That's her catchphrase. That's what she uses throughout the book. I'll do it later. And then tis the night of Halloween, if I'm not mistaken, or one of the nights of Halloween. We in the beginning of the book we get to know a lot of like, not strained relationships, but how hard it is for like this character to connect with other people and like show her feelings to other people, talk about her feelings with other people, or like solve or like mend the relationships in her life. And then she keeps saying, I'll do it later. So that night, I think it was one of the Halloween nights, or like there was a holiday, like Halloween carnival or whatever the fuck going on. She enters the house, she greets her dog, and then as she's sitting on her phone, she feels like someone hitting like the back of her head, and then she falls to the ground unconscious. She wakes up in the hospital. She wakes up in the hospital with news that she has like a piece of her cranium, like because she was hit in the back of the head, I think it was with a bat like 3 times. She has a piece of her cranium, like skull, like lodged, I think, into her brain or something like that. I'm not being specific because I'm not completely sure. I'm not a doctor, or something like that. And the doctors say that she has 2 options. Either she can go into surgery to try and take out that piece of like skull fragment from her brain, because if she doesn't, from her brain, which that surgery I think has like a 50% chance of being successful, or 10% chance, something like that. The odds were not very good. Or she can leave that piece of like fragment in, and she has about a week to live, because with that piece lodged in there, there's a big chance that it's going to create like an aneurysm, and then that aneurysm is going to burst and it's going to kill her. So she has to make a choice right there in the moment to either go into surgery, which has a very, very low chance of survival, or to have another week to herself and die at the end of that week. Like the whole like book was very, very good at like showing like the straining relationships between her and her family, because like I was so annoyed at her mother, but then at the same time I was like, oh my fucking god. It was a lot to take in, like the whole book, and her coming to terms and like watching the character wanting to take control of her life, or like the rest of her life, whilst also coming to the understanding that she's going to die and she doesn't want to die. Oh, and there's this moment that haunts me, where like obviously because she has that piece lodged in her head, that she starts like her body starts like failing her basically. So she loses control in her right arm, I think, if I'm not mistaken. She loses control in her right arm, so she can't move it at all. And then she, like, her face starts drooping because that's one of the symptoms, I guess. And then she has this moment. She's been doing, like, the point of the book is that she's like, she wants this extra week because she wants to figure out who killed her, or like who did this to her. So she gets like the help of this friend who like loves her very, very dearly, like actually loves her, but he hasn't been able to tell her because he's shy or whatever the fuck. And then they end up like, oh, that's another plot that makes me want to lose my mind, but whatever. So we'll be going around with her, and then she has this moment where like her body starts failing her and she wants to do stuff on her own, but she can't. So she has this moment where she's talking with like the dude, and she starts saying like, I don't want to die, I don't want to die. And it's just like made me sob as it is right now. I don't know why, like, I mean, I know why, but like the topic is so tricky for me, like death and stuff like that. So that moment broke me, I think. And I'm pretty sure this book was the one that made me like go into a spiral like these past few weeks with my mental health. And up until the end of the book, I was like, she's gonna survive. She's definitely gonna live. Spoiler, she didn't live, obviously she died. But I was like, she's gonna do it. Somehow, some way. She's gonna pull through, like always in the back of my mind. I was like, there's gotta be a way. That was not a way. So that book like completely like broke me. It made me feel a lot of things that I was like, oof. And then there was like the actual mystery. I really enjoyed the solving of the actual mystery, but yeah, that book fucking broke me. So I still gave it 5 stars because it was a good book. But then the next book that I read, which is a shift from Not Quite Dead Yet, was Speak the Truth, Volume 3. This is like the fanfiction that got turned into books. So there was 3 in the series. I finally read volume 3. These books are very like easy to read because it reads very much like fanfiction. I just kept going, kept reading. I enjoyed the books. Like I said, they're not like literary masterpiece, but I enjoyed reading them. Then we have, are you ready? We have the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore, the Christmas Tree Farm, and the Strawberry Patch Pancake House. So I went through a phase, as you can probably tell, of the Dream Harbor series. Do I think this is the best series I've ever seen? Absolutely not. Did I read that shit like it was nothing? Yes, I did. I read through all of the books, and I am now very anxiously waiting for the next one. I'm very excited for the actual continuation of the books. I know a lot of people don't like them. I actually enjoy them. The only gripe I have with them is that they have a lot of smut for what they look like. Like, you look at the cover of like the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. I was going into it thinking it was going to be like a cozy romance and like nothing much was going on. You should have seen my surprise when they were talking about like how horny they were for each other and how much like he wanted to go down on her and like hit her out. I was like, what is going on? What's happening? And all of the books are very equally like smutty, so yes. So we have, like I said, I read a while ago the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. I enjoyed it. So then we move on to the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore. This one I'm trying to remember. Bookstore. But yeah, this is the one with Logan, right? No, the one with Noah, the one with the pirate. The pirate smut. So yeah, I enjoyed this one as well. Then we have the next one, which is the Christmas Tree Farm. I will say the beginning of this book was treacherous. I hated Kira. All I kept thinking about, like, her name is Kira North. All I kept thinking about was just like, I am not in love with Christy North.
I don't have feelings for Christy North. I don't have feelings for Christy North.
That fucking clip from that movie. This one is about Bennett, which is the main girl's, like, the book from the girl from the first book. The main girl, it's her brother, and the girl who owns the Christmas Tree Farm, as you probably tell by the name of the book. I think I enjoyed them together. It didn't spark anything too insane. I think I was kind of like, yeah, alright, they're together now, yay. That's good. But I do think that it was an insane pairing to put the dude who always wants to help and the girl who never wants to be helped together. But I enjoyed the resolution. I enjoyed them talking to each other. I enjoyed it. Then we have this Strawberry Patch Pancake House. This one is about a chef who finds out he has a daughter because the mother of the daughter like passed away, and then suddenly was contacted to being like, hey, by the way, you're the father. So now he has to become the father of this 5-year-old girl, and they're having trouble at the beginning. So he hires a babysitter, and the babysitter is Iris. So the one thing that I also have against these books is the same thing that I had against the books of like the Ruinous Love trilogy, like the Love and Scythe and all of that. Love and Scythe, what the fuck? Scythe and Sparrow, there we go. Scythe and Sparrow and like Leather and Lark and Butcher and Blackbird. I don't know if it's like a problem with me, but these people fall in love incredibly easy, like so fucking easy. And it's the same thing from the Dream Arbor for the Dream Arbor people. Like they would go like years, like they see the books years without dating anyone, going through all these conflicts with relationships, and then suddenly they meet this one person. It's like, bam, okay, I know I want to be with this person. We need to do it right now. Let's do it all. And it's like, how did you figure it out that quickly? I'm pretty sure that's not how love works, but whatever. So in this one, as you can probably tell, the father of the child and Iris end up getting together. And not only that, this one comes with a plot twist. The plot twist of the century is that Iris ends up getting pregnant. So not only is he struggling to become like a dad of the 5-year-old, now he has another child on the way, which is great. So I thought this one was a bit moving too fast, but whatever. I really, like, I know it's not gonna happen, but I really wish there was like one book at the end of this whole series, because I know there's 2 more coming. I know there's the Gingerbread Bakery, then there's another one that I forgot, but I really wish there was just like one more book at the end that was like looking back and all the relationships from the previous book. And I wish like we got like a look back and how the relationships are going. I honestly think like the Strawberry Patch Pancake House is the most like flimsy relationship they could have. Like the Christmas Tree Farm, they went very fast, they immediately moved in, so I think that could be a problem as well. The Cinnamon Bun Bookstore, I kind of think like there was insinuations that there was already like pining before, and they've been around each other for a year, so they like each other, so I don't see a problem with that. The one with like the Pumpkin Spice Cafe, even though they met like, or like they went fast, I do think that they could work out. I do think. I don't know why, but the Christmas Tree Farm and the Strawberry Patch Pancake House, I'm like, I don't think it's gonna work. And then, last but not least, the last book that I read is Legendary by Stephanie Carver. A while ago, I read Caraval. I don't even think I read Caraval last year. And now it's August, and I finally read Legendary, which is the second book in the series. There is one more, which is Finale, which is the one that I'm going to read next. But I finally finished Legendary. Let's go! So I did enjoy the book. This one is from the perspective of Tella, not Scarlet, and I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed this installment of like the games, and I actually enjoy the plot of what is going on with the Card of Fates, or with the Fates, and with Dante. Spoiler alert if you haven't read the book. I mean, this book is also, if you haven't read it, then honestly it's on you. But I really enjoyed that Dante was revealed to be Legend. I think that was very hot and attractive. I know there's kind of like a love triangle now going on between Tella and the Fate dude, I forgot, Jax. And oh my god, I just now realized that the Fate, which was in a card, is called Jax, like the Jack of Hearts. I know it's kind of like a love triangle between like Jax and Dante and Tella. I honestly genuinely hope she ends up with Legend, because to me he's just more fantastical than Jax. And also the way that she like interacts with Dante is very much like, oh, like, I'm in love with you, you've captured me, I love you so much. Meanwhile with Jax, when she found out that he was like, that she was his one true love, because his heart like started beating, it's the whole curse thing. If you don't know, then you don't know. But she didn't take it as like, oh my god, yeah, I'm your one true love, I guess we need to be together. No, she took it as like, haha, I'm your one true love, get fucked, your curse doesn't affect me anymore. She didn't take it as like, oh, this is a good thing. She took it as like, oh, get fucked, like, get wrecked, I don't like you. So I really hope she ends up with Dante, or I think for the third book to be like dramatic, I think one of them's gotta die, and I think like Legend or like Dante is gonna try his hardest to kill the Fates, because they're the bad guys. I'm the bad guy. So I think that's what's gonna happen. I'm excited. I haven't started reading Finale yet, but right now the objective is for me to read, to finish Finale, and for me to finish Muse of Nightmares, because I still haven't finished that book, which is the one after Strange Dreamer. I'm very excited to finish that one as well. I have a very long, very long reading list. books I want to read, especially because now I want to start a series which is like this is for my Instagram, but like reading books that jumps up as like talked about or recommended. This is very random, but he like did an interview with Weavers not long ago where he talked about like how much he likes to read, why he likes to read, his history with reading, and then he mentioned a couple of books. So I want to make like a series on Instagram, like where I'm like, oh, reading books that Jung Sop has recommended. That way I can mix like K-pop with books, which is my two hobbies. So the books that I have on the list are Lord of the Flies, Damien, I Am a Cat, The Three-Body Problem, Nope, I think, The Plague, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, and then I think it's Butterflies of the Sky, or it's like, I know there's like only the title in French. I'm pretty sure there's no translation, which I found out recently, so yay. I'm not going to read a book in French because I don't know French, but found it interesting, so I'm not going to read that, but I did put it in there. I think it's Papillon de Étoile, or something like that. I think that's the French title. I need to ease my mind, I think, and this helps me. So, welcome to the episode. So yeah, are there any other news? Oh yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna buy a new chair. I think I mentioned it before. I don't know if I published it or not, but my chair, my pink chair, is broken, so I'm gonna buy a new chair tomorrow. I'm not gonna buy a gaming chair. I'm gonna buy like an office chair because a gaming chair honestly makes my back hurt. Very uncomfortable. So I'm gonna get just a regular office chair, and I'm very excited about that. Today I'm going to get a couple of packages as well, so I'm very excited. I'm gonna get my stuff for my hair because I think I'm gonna change my hair, you know, quarter life crisis and all that. And then I hope the package with my makeup gets to the place in time so I can go get it today instead of having to wait for the week. So I'm very excited about that as well. And yeah, what books have you been reading? What have you been enjoying? So yeah, see you in the next clip.